So yeah, we've been talking a lot about what it is, what a hospice is, the importance of it is to a growing, complete community here that we're trying to build in Milton, and the fact that it has been around for 7 years. It's now beginning to get a little bit more traction. And like I said, that buzz that's throughout the community, people are hearing more and more about
Absolutely,
it.
So
you've had a lot of successes, I think, over the last year or so. Can you let us know some of the things that have happened?
Absolutely. So we more than doubled our numbers of participants coming out to the hike. So that tells you people are interested in the work that we're doing. We were alongside the Milton District Hospital charity of choice at the Rotary Club's Denim and Diamond event. So that was a fun night. I know that you and Pat were there.
Yeah.
It was lots of fun dancing and bidding on silent auction items. I think you and I were bidding against each other.
The live auction, that was when I pulled out the yup.
Yup.
From my little Dave thing. But yeah, there was a lot of fun that event. And again, that helped raise the profile of the Townsend Smith Foundation, because that was working in conjunction, again, as we've talked before, with the Hospital Foundation. You know, it's a tandem. This is an organization that's going to work in helping improve the the quality of life as it ends towards it. So the hike for hospice.
Yes.
Was that
second year?
That was the second year.
Second year. So we more than doubled going from year 1 to year 2. And again, that just tells us the community is so ready to support this. We also were at the Community Foundation of Halton North's granting check presentation, and we received 2 grants from there. They have opened up a palliative care stream, and we were the recipient of 2 grants. So that was a very special moment for us. And again, it keeps telling us that people are so ready for this to happen.
Yeah, this is it. And again, that's where and when you're talking about it, and I know I joked before, and I used the word fringe before, and I didn't mean it in any derogatory way, but it was just always that Townsend Smith seemed to be on the outside cusp, because everybody talked about the different foundations that are around town and then the hospital and everything else. But now people are starting to bring in that the Townsend Smith as a charity that's more prominent in their mind.
The time is now.
The time is now.
The time is now, and we can't wait any longer. This is a service gap, and we need this to be a full, thriving, complete community.
Mm-hmm. So over the, like I said, we're talking about the response of people who have been coming out in a pouring rain for the hike for hospice. And again, I was there because it was soaking wet.
Mm-hmm. Your hair looked better than my hair.
Another hair joke. Here we go, folks. What have you kind of response have you been receiving from the Milton community? I know that it's, like I said, it's picking up.
We have had lots of meetings with individuals and corporations and service clubs. Everybody is prepared to support us. We need one spark to ignite, and it's going to take off. And that spark, Mike, is a piece of property. Mm-hmm. So we have been looking for property to hold this very special place. And so that is that one thing we need for the community to rally together. So once we can say we've got this special piece of property, watch out. We are deep in discussions on several pieces of property, but one in particular that we do truly feel is the right fit for us. So it's just time, and once we can talk deeper about that and a little bit more confidently about that, watch out.
No, and again, that's the important part for anybody who's doing fundraising. For the hospital, it was they raised the money for the capital campaign to build a bigger hospital and a better hospital, and the same thing for other local charities, as long as there's something physical there. So we're looking forward to that. And you kind of described the hospice a little bit. If you were just to sort of wave the magic wand, what would you see in a hospice community?
Homey. Special, warm, welcoming, focused on care, but focused on the individual. So it is all about the person that is there, what their needs are, not just medically or physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. So really, it's focused on that whole person.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, because you talked about maybe having some green space area, because that's something that people don't understand the importance of when you're in sort of that environment, if it's a clinical environment or whether that kind of thing, but being able to see some trees and to see some grass areas and get out and get a little bit of breath of fresh air.
Absolutely, or sitting in a solarium watching the birds and the gardens grow. I also think it's important for us to comment on the wraparound services for the family. So yes, it's about the resident, it's about their needs, but it's also supporting the whole family, being warm and welcoming to them and catering to their needs. If they want to spend the night, let's make sure they've got blankets and the proper spot to curl up and have a sleep, because that is what the resident has asked for. So we need to make sure that we're focused on the whole family. We'd also like to be seen as a community hub. Let's get together and use the space that we've got and have other people join us in offering these services. So we're quite excited to have that hub feel and be a really deep part of the community. Yeah.
And that's the thing, if anybody is watching, if there's organizations out there, service clubs, individuals who want to help partner up, because this is not going to be just a one piece solution. This is going to be a community solution. Yes. So that's the importance of making sure that we get that community involvement. So we've talked about all those next steps. We know and again, you were talking about the spark, and hopefully we get close to that spark. And once that spark happens, sort of the rubber is really going to hit the road.
Yes.
When it comes to, but what would you, again, envision the next, like, say, 6 months?
Yep, so then it's embarking on a full capital campaign. We will need $10 million to make this property happen and build exactly the vision that we would like. Again, having land takes us closer to reality than a visionary component to this. So once we can have that, I think people are going to be ready to support us. So we'll need $10 million to build, and we're going to need every single individual person, corporation to step up and help us do that.
And that'll obviously require volunteers
yes.
in there, because it can't be done just by one, or it can't be done by a few.
No.
So getting those organizations involved in it is definitely happening for it. You mentioned sort of the $10 million. That's a pretty tall order.
It
again.
is.
In 1 year, with the other local charity, we raised $1 million.
Yep.
And that was almost exhausting. 10 million it seems a lofty. This is how long of a capital campaign are you expecting?
3 years.
3-year capital campaign.
3-year capital campaign, and one of the next steps would also be a shovel turning. So once we can put the shovel in the ground and work along somebody to help us build this vision would also be really exciting.
So you're looking to sort of maybe assistance from our development community.
They're a pretty strong community here, so absolutely we would welcome that. We would welcome any corporate donor. Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're getting ready to wrap things up, I know that there's just and we've said we can talk about this organization, this plan for hours. What can people do to get involved? And again, the people that are watching here on YourTV, #LocalMatters, how could you get involved in helping? What kind of help do you need?
So we're always looking for financial support, but there's lots of other ways to support us as well. So I would leave everybody with a message to become an advocate. Share the good word about the work that we are doing. Get involved and volunteer with us at an event or sit around a committee. You can reach out to us, www.townsendsmith.ca, and can reach out to me on email, and we'll find a spot for you to get involved, most definitely.
You're getting involved with the local public market.
We are. We're going to be there handing out coffee and some chips, so make sure you join us July 6th and 7th. It's a great opportunity for us to spread the word. We're also going to be at the Milton Farmers Market in September. We're trying to be as many places as we can, and that requires volunteers to help us do that too. So every which way, we need people to get involved.
And again, that's the Milton Farmers Market is in downtown Milton. It's every Saturday from 7 o'clock in the morning till noon. Held by our Milton Chamber of Commerce, who I know has been also a big help.
Absolutely.
They provide the space free of charge for charities like that, and as well as the public market, which is held at the Milton Fairgrounds.
Yep.
So when people go there, again, you're going to have a booth set up?
We will. We'll have a booth set up and handing out brochures and talking about the work that we've been doing. I would also, Mike, just like to express how supportive Mayor Krantz and Council have been of this project right from the beginning, and it's been awesome to see all of that happen. So thank you for being part of that.
No, I have no problem being part of that. My council colleagues, I know that are fully supportive of this. This is Again, we're piecing together what I call that, we all know is the growing community.
Yes.
Milton isn't the 35,000 town, and as it was before in population, we're 135, and I fully agree with the fact, we should, that's great and it's in the past. We're 135,000 now. We're growing to what's probably going to be roughly about 375,000 people.
Yes.
So we have to build.
We're going to need 2 hospice at that point. We're going to need 2. And really, people are often surprised to find out that we don't have one already.
Yeah.